Martin.
Yes, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to my yard. Welcome to the Blue Tern, and welcome to the Rotterdam port. So we climbed up here to have a good view what's going on. We are now here in Baalhaven. Baalhaven is known already since 1930s. Then the Baalhaven was dredged out and filled with water. Nowadays the haven is still very busy because if you go a little bit further, you can see there is the complete skyline from Rotterdam. On this side, the Benelux, the other side, let's say different, the other side of the Benelux is all oil, petco. And on this side, it's all bulk, hardly bulk and a few containers. So that's what we do here. We have the buoy spans. The buoy spans are being used to transfer the bulk. This, you can see the Tor in Sivu is loading scrap. You can see the forward holds fully with scrap, so it's loading scrap and bring it to, well, whatever steel mill is interested. This is Boskalis premises. You can see a lot of Boskalis equipment lying there. Their office is over there. So all their vessels which come in this place. So yeah, we're in the center of the maritime business, in the center of Rotterdam, center where everything what's going on in the port, it happens here, mostly in Baalhaven. Please join me. We go going off the helicopter deck. Oh, this is not to play bingo. This is for emergency evacuation. You have the lifeboats here, so everybody stands on their own numbers. So who knows who's missing? Everybody got their personal number on the vessel. You have the life vest here. They can go in the boat, and everybody is complete. They can abandon the ship. It starts where the blue pile is standing. It's actually a hammer for the offshore wind. 700 tons, works on water. Very environmental friendly, less noise, less vibrations. So that's the latest engineering in.
Was that developed with Huisman?
Yes, yes, yes. I also have the most old-fashioned one. That's the yellow one, and it's just working with diesel oil. The block goes up. You could throw a bucket of diesel oil in, and then it goes. Then it hammers like that. But the environmental green doesn't allow that anymore. I still have it over here. Oh, you can see it here. You can see the legs, and you can see how far up they go.
You can see how far up they go into the sun, all to the moon. Woo.
So the vessel can jack up itself. Actually, it's jacked up now. You see no mooring lines, no nothing. So it's standing on four legs, and it's actually walking himself up on those electromotors here. You can see down here, and it walks itself all the way up. And last week we had a test. It was then 40 meters up, which was already pretty high, but it can go 75 meters up.
Wow.
What is this? The dirty tea room?
Oh, some people like coffee, and some people no. This is for the deck crew, and they have all this working clothes on. And when they have a break, then they go to the dirty tea room. So what you can see is the vessel have actually 3 cranes. This one is 800-ton crane, and with this crane they do the installation. This is a smaller crane to move things around the deck, and you have a smaller not crane in the aft of the deck. What we see here is the blade frames. So you can see the blue things over there and over there. So here the blade will be positioned. So what we do as a company then, we fabricate those gray grillages. So we prefab that in our workshop. Then the vessel comes and we put them on board. We locate them in the exact position. It is within 1 millimeter of accuracy in height, but then an XIZ. And then we sea fasten it. So we prepare the vessel for his next assignment, his next wind farm build job. What you see here are the tower grillages. On these foundations, the big TPs will be positioned and temporarily secured. And when the vessel is in position, they can lift it off and put it on the seabed, the pedestal on the seabed, and build up the.
So how many can he run in one go?
Four pieces.
4 pieces,
Yeah.
including all the blades, all.
Yeah. Normally it's
Only
three.
the foundation is there already, or they put them here as well.
The fun part is that no wind turbine is the same. So for every other job, you have to take everything off the deck and put new stuff on the deck. Gives us a lot of work, luckily. And in this case, they have adapter frames. So you see the flange over there is bolted on the old flange and went up to the new size, and you can see it's bigger in size. So it goes out.
Yeah.
What we're looking at here are the nacelle grillages. The nacelle is actually the wind turbine itself, which is on top of the pole, where the rotor is connected. That gondole will be positioned in these frames. So you can see you have 1, 2, 3, 4 gondolas can be loaded.
I have a question from Bert.
Yes.
Type of propulsion.
Good question. Propulsion is retractable thrusters. So usually the electromotor driving the thruster, and down here is the electrical thruster. So when it comes in, it jacks up so some working.
And how many thrusters do they have?
4.
4 thrusters.
To each side.
Yeah. How many people are on board on a general project like this, and how much of them are dealing with maintenance, regular maintenance?
Okay, you have 3 different crews on a vessel like this. One of them is, of course, the captain, the officers. You have another team, the white collars, and you have the blue collars, and they are the guys running the vessel and operating the engines. I think this crew consists out of 22 people, but also what comes on board on a project is the client, and they only supply the vessel, but they are not the client. The client is renting the vessel, so the client can come up also with how many people are involved in a project, like maybe 20, 30 people, which can also be accommodated. So those are the 3 teams coming on board.
Okay, cool. Just to show you a little bit, check up. And there you can see the water, so it's standing just on the bottom floor. So now we have a view of the vessel itself. Fred Olsen wind carrier. Here you see the big crane, the main crane, which is quite huge. Yeah, well, I don't want to get you into the sun. And you can see that it is not laying in the water, but actually standing on the seabed.
Before you're allowed to put them on his legs, as we say, you have to do an investigation of the soil. First, if it's hard enough, and the second is that there are no inheritances from our war. Our presence to the Germans can also be on the seabed floor.
Did it ever happen?
They find many. And the reason is there was airport, Waalhaven, and in war, the English were there. In war, when they flew back to England, the surplus on bombs, they dropped in the port and then they flew home because there was less fuel.
Ah,
so
okay.
The port was full with bombs. But I did, all the bombs here are cleared out. But you can imagine if one of the legs touches the bomb, then
yeah.
What you see here is an ocean compensated gangway. And what we do is mobilize and demobilize them. So if they rent one out, the vessel comes, we put them on the deck, everything is connected. It goes out on a project. Project is over, but most of the time it's also wind farm related, wind industry related. It comes back, we take it off and wait for the next assignment.
But just a question on the inspection of the seabed.
Yes.
Do you work with divers?
Oh, before it comes, we do a debris investigation. So the diver comes and see if there are no remains of steel of other projects. So they check the sea bottom floor, it's completely clean, and then they have to hand over that report, and then she takes over. Okay. Yeah. Well, these are two boats built by my dad, and they're already the 40 years old by all. They're all owned by privately, and they made me chairman of that club. And of course, being chairman, you also got the maintenance. So I think there was a reason to make you chairman, right?
Probably.
This is also a yacht vessel. It's a roeiersflat, linesman's boat, and they are also built by the linesmen themselves. They have their own shipyard, make their own boats, and I managed to get one of my hands on one of them, so we completely refurbish it. It's going to be the ROG #1.
When he was young, he worked at that vessel.
I blew it up because it had an explosion in the past, and the complete gas explosion, and the complete substructure was blown off. It was like a tulip, and we put the new aluminum superstructure on and complete new interior. But I was working on myself, so when I bought it, I didn't remember it, but my brother told me. So here we have a vessel of seafrats. Well, this is roll on, roll off. You can see the car deck when you see in. This is also one deck which they can fold open. It's on the repair. It's a 2-day job, and then the vessel will leave again. Well, we do this, of course, with our cranes.
This is their own crane, so they have their own assets as well. You can see the large crane behind it, so it's not really a comparison, but it's nice.
I'm still proud of it.
He's still proud of it.
So the gray structures in the back, that's the stone dump equipment of Boskalis. It was one of the vessels, but we took it off and we made a cable layer on it. So the complete deck was cleaned and we put complete deck spread from a cable layer. And it's still in storage. And recently they come up and they are thinking to make it a stone dumping vessel again. So it's now just in storage. But,
Martin, a very important question. Who has the better bar, you or your neighbor?
It's a continuous competition. A lot of Asian customers. Actually, my customer base, I think 50% are Asians, Hong Kong, Singapore, and they have the feng shui. So that's why I have a pond with fish, because
especially for the Asian clients, his own pond with fish. Question: how many ships can you deal simultaneously?
We have 3 on the yard, and in the port we can for how much?
Yeah. Because that's interesting. They have their own facility, but they also have their flying squad, so they can do the job any place, anywhere. So a lot of the work is actually being done in the port area, outside of their own quays. So we go into the workshop.
Yeah. So here we do the sleep test. So all this equipment will go on the Blue Tern. So these are the stairs for the blade frames. Behind there we have the all lathe and mills. It's protected from the area, and up there we do aluminium and stainless steel, because you cannot mix that with steel. So you have to keep that separate.
So this is what they have at lunch at ROG.
Dit zijn de havenbronnen, the port barons, as we say. Those are every year there's one guy who's the most important guy in port. He's chosen, and you can see the picture. You can see very familiar names, big names of the Rotterdam port.
But this year it was a lady, right?
Yeah.
Annette Koster. Yeah. So she was the most important person contributing to the port of Rotterdam.
And here you can see the timeline.
Timeline.
And of course.
So you see what kind of city we are in currently.
So we go one level up.
And then we go to the final level. You stick with us a few more minutes.
They're nice, this picture of the pasta.
It's beautiful decorated, the whole office.
These vintage stuff are fantastic.
Cool. And now we are at the pub of ROG. So this is where you end the day or only end the week?
Depends. And here you see the control center.
And this is the control center of Lisa. The guys sending out today. Totally dedicated and committed, and so much fun to do it with you all.
Well, that completes the tour.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
1 minute to go. Just in time. Just like ROG, always exactly on time.